Now an I-Team report we're working on right now. Our series of reports, Driving While Black. Tonight, our investigation takes us to another police department and charges of racial profiling. Here's a preview and Brenda Flanagan.
He's right behind me. I didn't stop him.
We're on the road, hidden cameras rolling. We're doing a test to see how police react to 3 different drivers. One white, one Latino, one African American. You'll see who gets stopped and who doesn't, and decide for yourself if cops do the right thing. The drivers say one thing.
I'm out on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm easy prey.
The cops say another.
That is not racial profiling.
Coming up, we'll play for you the undercover tape.
Your license registration?
And you will decide, is this racial profiling?
Brenda Flanagan's explosive report, Driving While Black, is just 90 seconds away. You're about to see and hear how some police officers interact with people of color. It's a story that comes straight from you, our viewers.
And many of you called to say there is a problem in some counties. So we conducted a random test. We want you to watch and decide for yourself about what's going on to those, what's happening for those who drive while black. Brenda Flanagan joins us with the story. Brenda?
He's right behind me. I didn't stop him.
We're on the road in Suffolk County with hidden cameras rolling. We're doing a test to see how police react to 3 different drivers. One white, one Latino, one African American. You'll see who gets stopped and who doesn't, and decide for yourself if cops do the right thing. But first, listen to these people talk about their recent experiences.
I was stopped 3 consecutive days by officers willing and wanting to kick my ass.
He's hiding his face because he's a New York City cop, but he lives in Suffolk County, and he's Hispanic. He says police here target certain people.
Who do they target?
Hispanics, African Americans.
He's a police officer just like these guys, but says he's outraged by what they do.
It's horrible. They should be arrested because, you know, you're just violating somebody's civil rights completely, and you're covering it up with the badge.
There is a problem here in Suffolk County.
Nancy Holliday is with the New York Civil Liberties Union out in Suffolk County. She drives an Escalade and says cops have pulled her over several times, that failing to signal or failing to come to a complete stop are the most frequent reasons given.
Were they true?
No.
Then why do you think you were stopped?
I think I was stopped because I'm a black person driving a Escalade.
Nancy and the New York City cop, they're among many viewers who called the I-Team after we aired this story back in November. We investigated alleged racial profiling by police in Nassau County.
Okay, I don't like this.
That's Diop Kamau. He's an ex-cop who used to work in the LA area and now runs the Police Complaint Center in Florida. He teaches cops about ethical behavior and uses hidden cameras to investigate allegations of police abuse. He's worked with network and local news organizations and designed the driving test of Nassau cops for our report. Diop came back last month with another test for Suffolk County Police.
I don't always jump to the conclusion of racial profiling because it's hard to determine what's going on in someone's mind. But you can certainly raise questions if there aren't other things you can point to.
I got him. Come on, let's go.
We're in Islip, the 3rd precinct. It's about 1 in the morning, and Diop's driving a Ford Expedition. He slowly passes a police car because we want the officers to see him. Then he drives up the road, turns right onto a residential side street, and parks, waiting to see what police will do. He's sitting in the dark now, but listen, you can hear his turn signal is on. Police, meanwhile, drive up the same road. They pass the side street where Diop's parked, but suddenly hit the brakes, turn around, and head for Diop.
Backing up. I think we're good.
Diop pulls away from the curb and heads down the street. Police catch up with him at a stop sign. Cameras record the conversation.
Your license registration?
Can you tell me what's going on, man? Why I got stopped?
I'll tell you in a moment.
Why do you think police pulled Diop over? In his opinion,
I think he stopped the car because I'm an African American in an expensive vehicle, and I'm out on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm easy prey.
we're back at the scene. Listen while Diop tries to get an explanation from police.
Why don't you tell me why I got stopped, and I'll tell you.
Listen, okay. You're in charge here.
We're gonna ask you a couple questions, just answer them, and then we'll tell you what's going on, all right?
Well, first of all, you said you would tell me why I got stopped. So
Okay. And we're not done doing our little investigation here yet, and we'll tell you when we're done.
Now, police can legally stop you if you break the law or if there's reasonable suspicion you're involved in a crime. Police keep firing questions at Diop. Who does he work for? They confiscate a radio scanner and walkie-talkie marked WWOR-TV and ask, who do they belong to? Finally, after a half hour, police tell Diop he failed to signal when he pulled away from being parked at the curb. He's outraged.
That's not true. I mean, it's just flat out not true.
Remember, you heard his turn signal. After checking videotapes, Diop insists.
In fact, I had the turn signal on before I even moved. They drove past the block.
Diop got a ticket, but we're not done with our driving test. Now we're in Brentwood, the 3rd precinct. It's Monday, about 1:15 in the morning. Diop's colleague, Richie, who's Latino and a former cop, is driving a big SUV. He's dressed hip-hop style. Watch carefully. Richie stops at a red light, and police pull alongside him on the left. They're side by side when Richie makes a right turn. Police hesitate, then pursue. Richie gets stopped.
The reason why I pulled you over, sir, is because you made a right turn without putting your signal on Brentwood Road and Candlewood Road. Do you have any ID on you, sir?
The officer's polite, but he wants to know what Richie's doing around here.
But where are you coming from? Where are you originally coming from, other than 111?
From the city.
From the city? Just coming from the city? All right, boss, I'll be back, all right?
He writes Richie a ticket for failing to signal when he turned right back at the light. Remember, they were side by side. You be the judge. Could a cop sitting in the left lane clearly see Richie's right turn signal, or did he just see Richie?
Well, why are you going to waste my time for? I mean, you didn't even have to issue it. If you couldn't see the right side of my car, whether I had a blinker on or not.
I saw you, sir. I wouldn't have wrote your ticket if I didn't.
What would happen with a white driver? Here's Greg, who also works for the police complaint center. It's about 3 in the morning, and we've left Islip after police there completely ignored Greg. Now we're a few miles west in the 1st precinct near Babylon. Greg's driving a big SUV. He's in front of a police car and bangs a left. No turn signal. Police follow. Will they stop him? They pull alongside Greg at the light, and watch this. Greg makes a right. Again, no turn signal. Police drive away.
We got exactly what we got with Richie right here, and he didn't do a thing.
You've seen 3 tests. What's your conclusion? Here's what Diop says.
Shocking, to say the least. How do you account for it? It's not as if Greg was invisible to the police officers that night.
What do you think?
I think it's racial profiling. And I think that the evidence based on a series of stops will demonstrate that.
That is not racial profiling.
We showed tape of the traffic stops to the Suffolk County Police Commissioner and his aides.
What I saw on the tape was officers pulling over a car for vehicle and traffic law infraction. Officers can pull people over for that, white, black, or yellow.
But you're assuming there was a violation.
That's on the tape. The officer said there was a violation.
The commissioner takes the officer at his word, no matter what the tape shows. Suffolk's commissioner says his cops treat everyone fairly, but they have no statistics because they don't record the race of people pulled over for traffic stops. Nassau cops began doing that after our report back in November. A profiling scandal prompted New Jersey State Police to do it too. The New York Civil Liberties Union says Suffolk should re-examine its policies.
The police department has to look seriously about the way it's treating people who it encounters who are not like the people who live in some of these communities, namely they're not white.
Diop and Richie say they'll fight their tickets in court. Harry, Brenda, back to you.
All right, Brenda, thank you very much.